Hello guys, this is another wonderful day. I welcome you to Fourth Volume TV. And on the Fourth Volume TV is strictly for educational purposes and also promote businesses. And as we started our tutorials on how to use calculator, today is a third tutorial that we want to put across. And today we want to talk about how to use our calculator working on binary operations. And when we talk about mathematical operations, we talk about additions, subtractions, division, and multiplications. Now, but when we come to a binary operation, is an area where the question on how to deal with a question. And so it's an operation that gives you a solid dimensions on how to operate. And so today we want to see how we can use our calculator to work around binary operations. So first of all, we want to look at the question 1 and see how we can solve it. So the question 1 says that the operation star is defined as m star n equal to m plus n plus mn. The mn is multiplication, so when you see two variables put together like this, it means it's multiplication. No dots, no multiplication sign. Together like this is multiplication. Very good. Now coming to the A says that I evaluate I 3 star 4 I 4 star 3. Now the B says that I compare your answer in A, which is this one, I and I. And what is that? The C says that I show that 2 star bracket open 3 star 4 bracket close equal to bracket open 2 star 3 bracket close star 4. What property is that? And the D says that I form a table for star on the set S equal to this is the set given to you 1, 2, 3, 4. And a set, you have to form a table with this. And this table is using the operation given to you to form the table. And it says that what set is the set close under the operation. And as I said earlier, when we talk about binary operations, it's operations that have a solid dimensions and it has its own properties. And so some of the properties is commutative property, associative property, and distributive property. And so this is how it works. So we want to see if we can use our calculator to work around this. And so as the question given unto us as an operation, now let's break it down and see how we can use our calculator to solve it. And so in the solution, we have the operation given unto us, which is a star m star n equal to m plus n plus mn. Now on a calculator, you need to represent it by the variables you know. And so here we want to represent the operation by x, which is let m star n equal to x. So therefore, x equal to m plus n plus mn. Very good. Now, on your calculator, let D represent m, which is this m, and E represent n. Then the display of your calculator is now x equal to D plus E plus DE. So you have this. Now we need to get the x, the D, the E on our calculator so we can input the operation. So now let's pick on our calculator and see how we can work on it. So the first thing we need to do, we need to find where we can get x, where we can get D and E. Now if you want to get x on your calculator, x is alpha key and bracket close key. The two together will give you x. And so when you look at the breakdown I have put here, now let's see. So you say enter alpha bracket close. And so now on a calculator you go, this is alpha. So alpha bracket close will give you x. Can you see x on the calculator now? Very good. You see x. Now when you see x, now the next thing you have to do, you need the equal sign, because we are trying to put the operation, the entire operation, on the calculator. So now we have x and we need equal sign on our calculator. So what we have to do next is you go to alpha calculate. We have calc is a symbol, say solve. So we have CLC is a calculate key. So you go to alpha calculate key, has to give you equal sign. So now we have x equal sign. That's great. Now we are still trying to input the operation on our calculator now. So the next thing you have to do is to get d, because it says that x equal to d plus. So where can we get d? So the d is, you need to go to alpha and the sign key, sign, S-I-N, sign. You have cos, sine, and tan. And so alpha sign key will give you d. Now when you get your d, you go to the normal plus. So the normal plus here is to go to plus. And we want to get e. So how can we get e? The e is alpha cos. And so you go to alpha key and then you go to cos. It give you d. It give you e. That's correct. So now on our calculator we have x equal to d plus e. And you go to your normal plus, because we are trying to put the key, which is the operation, on our calculator. And so now next thing we have to do is cos and plus alpha sine. So the next thing we have to do, as we have x equal to d plus e, plus the next thing we have to do is we need d again. We need d again. So where can we get d? D is alpha sine, give you d, and this one is a multiplication. The d and e is going to be a multiplication sign, so we don't put anything between. So you do it straightforward. You go to alpha cos. So now we have this. Okay, so this is, we have been able to input the full operation on our calculator, which is x equal to d plus e plus de on our calculator now. Good. So what we have to do next is we want to input the values in the calculator. We want to give the values. Now the next thing we have to do is we go to the I. Now let's see where the I is. The I says that x 3 star 4 is the I. So first thing you have to do is you go to shift. Now we want to put in the values. Let me do it very well here. You go to shift calculate key and it asks you what is the value of d, and you need to tell the calculator that your value of d is 3, because now we have to be very careful, because if you look at it very well, the d is now the 3, because the d is the m, because according to the representation it says that let d represent m and e represent n, and the operation says that is operation m star n, and it says 3 star 4. Very good. So now our d is 3. You go to 3, you click 3 here, and you go to equal sign, and it will ask you what's the value of your E, and we know E is 4. So you enter 4 and you go to equal sign, and it says that solve for X, and you need to go to equal sign again. Now your X is, in the normal calculation, we have 3 star 4 equal to, now we want to just represent this as the X. It says that 3 plus 4 plus 3 times 4. Now this gives us 7, and this one gives us 3 times 4 is 12. And so now we have this as 7 plus 12 will give you 19, which is 19. That's great. So in the normal calculation, you can calculate and get the answer. So on our calculator, the calculator tells us that X equal to 19, no remainder. That's correct. And so now looking at this, we can see the operation has been solved. The first thing you need is to put a proper input on your calculator. The rest are easy to go. And so now you put your 19 down as this one, you put it down. Now you go to the next one as the 4 star 3. It's a vice versa. So what do you have to do? You don't need to clear your calculator. You need to keep on doing it. So the next thing you have to do is you go to shift calculate again, and it will ask you another value because you have input everything on your calculator, and always has to ask you the values of the operation on a calculator. And so now our D is a 4. Going to equal sign, asks you E is 3, and you go to equal sign and it asks you to solve for X. Now you go to equal sign again, it says that your X is 19 again. So we have another 19 again. As for the 4 star 3, that's correct. Now we can also try to work it manually and see if the answer is correct, because this is a simple. We have to know that the operation carry the mathematical operation as plus and multiplication. And so now we are going to have a 4 star 3 and give equal sign as 4 plus 3 plus 4 times, this is 4 rather, 4 times 3. So this is 7 again, plus 12, because the 4 times 3 is 12. And this gives 19 again. And so we have our 19 back. And the calculator tells us that it's 19. And so it's very simple like that. Now, what we have to do is we keep on solving the rest of the operation. Now, the next thing we have to do is to evaluate, go to this B. The B says, let's check the B. The B says that compare your answer in A, which is the I and II, and what is that? And who can tell us the answer? You see? As a comparing the answers, which is 3 star 4 equal to 4 star 3, all give us 19. So the operation is commutative. Very good. That one is done. Now coming to the C, the C says that we need to evaluate this, and I need to teach you how to go by this. It's very, very important. Now in this one, the first thing you have to remember is you need to remember your board mass. It's very important. The board mass is very important here. You need to deal with the bracket one first, and before you deal with those outside the bracket. And so the first thing we have to do is to pick those in the bracket first. And so now let me take the next sheet. Dealing with the bracket one first, we have 3 star 4, which is 19. We already know. is 19. Okay, but still you can use your calculator to prove, because we want to teach. Is in the exams time, you know that it's 19. You don't need to worry yourself much on that. And so still showing that we don't know and we want to use our calculator to prove, we go to shift calculate. It asks for D, and the D is 3, equal sign, asks for E is a 4, then we go equal sign, solve for your X, another equal sign gives you 19. Now we have 19. Now looking at the question here, after working those in the bracket, the answer you get must map with the next value outside. So now the bracket one is 19 and the value outside is 2. So now it's going to be 2 star 19. So the next one is 2 star 19. So now as we have 2 star 19 here, the next thing we have to do is to go to calculate, shift calculate, and it asks for D. We know D is 2 now. Go equal sign, ask for E. E is 19, and it goes to equal sign, asks you for solve for X. Go equal sign again. Now we have 59 as our new value. So we have 59 here now. So now we need to put 59 aside and wait for the other portion of the question. So the question says that this is the 2, okay? So compare this and this if they are equal. So now first of all pick the bracket 1, and we had 19, and the 19 against 2 gave us 59. Now we want to pick the bracket 1 again. After working on the bracket 1, we use the answer to map with the 4 outside. And so the next thing we have to do is go calculate, shift calculate, and ask for D. Now our D is 2 now, because we are working on those in the bracket. So 2 equal sign, E is 3, enter 3, solve for X. We had 11. That's great. Now we are going to pair 11 against the value outside the bracket, which is 4. And so now we go shift calculate, then we go 11 is the D now. So 11 equal sign, E is 4. Then we go solve for X, we solve for X. Now we had a 59 also. And so now this is, if you understand operation science, you'll be able to conclude this. And so we can say that since this one is equal to this and all equal to 59, the operation is associative. We don't need to teach more, but we want to just show how to use the calculator solving it. And so if you read more, you'll be able to understand why it's associative, because of the brackets there. Now we want to go to the next aspect and see how we can use our calculator to draw the table, because the question says that we need to draw a table. So we want to see if we can draw the table quickly and move on. And so this is a set given unto us. The set is 1, 2, 3, 4. So what you have to do is you need to use 1 against 1. Now let me show something small here. Is when you pick 1, the 1 is against the whole set. So the 1 against 1, 1 against 2, 1 against 3, 1 against 4, 1 against when you get to 4, then you come and pick 2, 2 against 1, 2, 2, 2, 4, 2, 3, 2, 4. Let me show you how the table has to be mapped so that you will use it. Okay, so we have the table here. Now this is the operation sign, which is a star. Now you need to put 1, 2, 3, 4. And here too is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the mapping is going to be 1, 1. Then you put the answer here. Now 1, 2, answer comes here. 1, 3 comes 7. And 1, 4 is 9. Now you pick 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4. 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4. 4, 1, 4, 2, 4, 3, 4, 4. Now let's use the calculator and see if we can get this. Now I just want to go straight on the table so that we get the answers here. Now we want to use 1, 1 and get the answer for 1, 1. And so first of all, you need to go to Shift and we go to Calculate, and we have 1, 1. Okay, so quickly you can just get the answer. So now it's 3, and we have the 3. Okay, it's quickly you go Shift, Calculate, 1, 2, and you solve for it. You have 5, so the 5 is there, and you go Shift, Calculate, 1 against 3, 1, 3, and you solve for x. You get 7, and it's there. 7 is there. Now we are going to pick the next one, and the rest you can do it at our source. And so the next one we have to do is we are going Shift, Calculate, 1 equal sign, then against 4. Okay, now we solve for x, and it's 9. We had it here. And so now you can use it to do the rest. Let me do 4, 4 and see, which is 24. And the 4, 4 is 24. So now Shift, Calculate, and you put it here. Shift, Calculate, D is a 4, and E is 4. And you solve is 24. You get it right. Now, if you are able to do this and you are very fast enough, when a question like this is given to you, you don't need to worry much in drawing your table, solving other problems. Everything is on your calculator. Just put in and you move on very quickly. And so this is how we can input and work on binary operations, no matter how the question is. First of all, you need to input the operation given unto you on your calculator, and you have to define it the way you will be able to access it on your calculator. It's very important because it's not all the variables that you can get. So you need to represent them by the variables you will understand so you can get the answer done quickly. Now I want us to pick another question, and we work on it quickly. So question number 2, we won't solve all, but we will try to put elaboration on a question number 2 and leave it to you to do it. And so question number 2 says that an operation is defined by A star B equal to half bracket open, A minus B bracket close. It's not difficult at all. You can use your calculator to do this, very simple. So the first thing you have to do, and we just want to teach how to input, and you can do it. So the first thing you have to do is you need to let X represent A star B. That's the first thing. And you let D represent your A, and E represent your B. And this is how it goes, like the one that we did earlier. So the first thing you need to do is you need to get your X. And the X is alpha bracket close, give X. Then the alpha calculate gives equal sign. You need your D now. D is alpha sign gives D. So alpha sign gives D. Now this is how we are going to do. Now you have a fraction in the question. So the first thing you have to do is, after getting your X, which is alpha bracket close, and alpha calculate equal sign, you need to use your fraction key. That's why our second tutorials we were teaching about how to use the fraction key. So now you need to go to the fraction key direct, and you have a fraction there. Now you input 1 up and a 2 down, and you go to the right replay key to bring it there, and you go to your bracket open and you put your values there, which is the alpha sign gives D, and the minus sign and the alpha cos give E, bracket close. So now we have defined the question on our calculator now. So what do? We look at how the question wants us to solve it. So first of all, we have the A. A says that form a table of the operation on a set 4, 6, 8. We have it, and easy to form the table. And as I earlier said, it's going to be a 4 against 4 against 6 against 8. So the first thing we need to do is a 4 star 4. So let's see 4 star 4 how we are going to get the answer. And so you go to shift calculate, and it asks for D, and we know D is 4, and you go equal sign, it asks for E. E is 4 again, and go to equal sign. This is the solve for X. Okay, let me go equal sign one more time. And X is what? Now we have X is 0. All right, now let's put the 0 here, and we will work it ourselves. Let's work it manually and see if the first one is 0. Now we have 4 star 4 equal to half, bracket open, 4 minus 4. That's how it is. Now 4 minus 4 give us 0. Now we have a half, and this is 0 already. Now this is a multiplication sign, so 0 times any number gives 0. So that's why we have 0 for this. So let me show you very well. So I was saying that this is the operation. So the 4 star 4, and this is the operation defined as half, bracket open, the 4 minus 4, and you get 0 here, and everything gives 0 because 0 times half gives 0. So that's why the operation is like that. Now the next thing we have to do is we have to our operation is no more. So let's define the operation one more time, and we'll put there. My hand press the key, so the operation is no more. Now we want to just input the operation again, which is alpha x, and alpha calculate equal sign, fraction key, got 1, now right key, bracket open, and we have alpha sign minus alpha cos, bracket close. This is our operation back again. Now we go to the next one, is a 4 against 6. So when you go to calculate, shift calculate, ask for D, 4, shift calculate, D is a 4, you go to equal sign, E is 6, so shift, now shift, you go to 6, equal sign, and we have -1, and we have our -1 here. So this is how we can solve all this quickly, and then you get your questions and your solutions done quickly. So you are forming the table now. It's easy to make the table. And so this is how you construct a table, okay? So this is the table done. We just want to jump to the table and we'll see. So now the 4 gives 0, and 4 6 -1, 4 8 -2, and it's easy to get everything done. All right, and so this is how we go by using operation, binary operations. And I have questions here. I have some questions here. You can try. This is a try question. This is A is the operation sign is defined by A star B equal to A plus B minus AB. Calculate all this, and you can try your hand. And any question that you have, you can try your hand on how you use calculator to deal with binary operations. First of all, you need to define the operation on your calculator, and you keep using it to solve it, and it's easy to go. All right, so guys, we'll end our third tutorial here, and then next week every Saturday we'll try to grab a tutorial on how to use our calculator. So stay tuned. Next week we have our fourth tutorial, and as I said earlier on, we have a lot to teach, and if you follow, you are going to master how to use your calculator in dealing with mathematics. All right, see you guys. Have a wonderful day. Bye.